Bonjour mes amis, hi guys, I'm somewhere in Belgium in the car waiting for my nephew. So, how about a little update on the Tudor Black Bay Pro? It's been really keeping the rhythm of my holiday. Great to have the date and the time reference here set to Hong Kong time, so it's 10 o'clock at night. I've been using this reference constantly and also the date, great to have. And I was watching a bit of YouTube, some split opinions about Tudor in general and also about the new Ranger. Seems like an okay watch, good alternative at 39mm to the Explorer from Rolex that got reduced to 36. I love my 39, to me is the perfect size, but to each his own. The Tudor Ranger looks quite nice, seems like a good watch with a good movement. I'd love to see it in person. Of course, it has no date, no other complication, so probably a bit thinner. But you know, it's a point that comes back into the conversation a lot. The thickness of Tudor watches. The thing is, it's a look that have established long ago, long before the Black Bay line already, with the for example the big blocks, and it's a look in itself. And it's strangely endearing even on the GMT. So it really comes down to whether you like a bigger watch or not, and it comes down to whether you it fits your wrist. But to me, I really love the look. The big difference that I've mentioned before is that Omega hides the thickness really well of their watches. Their 14, 15, 16mm watches have usually a thin mid case. I did a whole video about mid cases comparing the Speedmaster and my Tudors and all that. And here Tudor doesn't hide it. And if they were rounding out the side of the cases, it would be much more like a Milgauss, very similar to the size of a Milgauss. Which nobody ever really talks too much about in terms of the thickness, although it's a thick and heavy watch like the previous Air King that shared the same basic case. Here it's a look, and it's a look that I really like. I couldn't really enjoy fully the GMTs. I think it was a bit too big with the 22mm lug width, but here with the 39 diameter and the 20mm lug width, I absolutely like the look. It's also a matter of proportion, this 14mm, those 14mm cases. To me, it works great with this 39mm watch. I really have no issue with it. Some people do. My friend Johnny Guitar had a look and didn't like it. And to be honest, at first when I saw it at the AD, I wasn't sure I would dig the watch. Really took it just to have something to talk about during the holidays, and now you could not take this watch off my wrist. It's been such a good watch, and I really like the color they've chosen for the indices and hands. For once, they didn't go full vintage, but I love this cream color for those very original 3D lume plot, really lume indices, and the simplicity of the watch that has still quite a bit of information. And of course you have the bezel that we shouldn't take for granted, you know, very much the Explorer 1655 look. And as much as I like the GMTs and obsessed about them, this is so functional and simple. And it's enough, because nobody really uses the bezel ever. It's just too complicated. And if you can use the bezel, it means you know exactly what time it is elsewhere. It's just less mathematics to count than really use the bezel. It's more for the pilots. I think the GMT Master made sense. Master 2 became a bit too complicated when you could have 3 time zones, and then you don't even know what your reference is there on this extra hand. To me, this is 20 meters of water resistance, diver, just the perfect travel watch. And I love that strap. Really can't get enough of it. It's been perfect. At first I thought I had to have the bracelet, which is why I wasn't sure I would dig the watch, and in the end, I'm becoming very much a strap guy, especially with the Tudors. It really suits the playfulness of the brand. And I made a video about whether Tudor was a junior brand. Sometimes when I enjoy my 58, Black Bay 58, and then I put it in the watch box, and next to the Rolex and the Pateks, it looks junior because they have those more playful colors, the faux vintage look. Here it is less apparent, which I think is good. The watch is going to stand better in the watch box. I think the Black Bay 58 and Tudor in general, you have to take it very differently. If you take it as a Rolex enthusiast and compare it, it's probably always going to leave you something to complain about. But I think that Tudor has gone such a long way now with the movements, with what they offer in terms of materials as well, with the ceramic, the bronze, that you can collect them in themselves separately from being just a sister brand to Rolex. Tudor is a trip in itself, a fun trip, and this watch has really made my trip different, better. I just can't get it off. You know, about the green Seamaster. I love it. If I dress up a bit better, go to the town, maybe I'll wear that. But this one works with everything I'm wearing. It's great colors and it's just so functional. It purposeful, as I said. That's the word to describe the watch. Really fantastic release from Tudor, and I think the Ranger looks nice. People say there's not enough on the dial. Usually people complain about the opposite. Seems like it's nice. I'd like to see the North flag redesigned. I think it's a bit rough and tough in its original form. A new version will be nice, but yeah, my prediction was for the 39mm steel Black Bay, and it's pretty much the same thing. This Ranger, I forgot about the Ranger existed. It's not very different than a 39mm steel 12mm thick Black Bay, is it? So it fills a gap now in the Tudor Rolex lineup, and Tudor tends to do that, filling gaps, and they do it really, really great. So there you go. Those are my current thoughts on the 13th day of my trip. Another week here in Belgium. It's getting really hot outside. There's 28 degrees, but we're used to it in Hong Kong, and in Hong Kong we have like 70-80% humidity. Here it's very dry, so really doesn't bother me yet. And in the old house on the countryside, it's very cool, so no problemo. Enjoying the food, getting fat a bit too much. Great chocolate, great beer, nothing to complain. And of course the family. I hope you guys are having a great summer. Enjoy the sports. You know, last weekend, great Formula One race in Austria, lots of overtakes. That was really fun. And Wimbledon final was good. I think Nick Kyrgios dropped the ball a little bit in the third set, getting angry at his team. I don't understand why he has to do that. Really meaningless. He could have clutched that third set, would have been a different story. Of course, the ever consistent Djokovic ruled again, but there was a chance there. It was interesting to see. I'm also following a little bit the Tour de France, bicycle race. That too is nice, but I'm not really a specialist of it. All right, guys, signing out from sunny, hot Belgium, driving my mom's Toyota. That's good enough for this, and have a great summer. Bye bye, guys. Training in the barn like I'm Rocky IV. Check this shit out.